Welcome for the second leg in the semi-final here on VfB TV. We are following the game between Wolfsburg and Stuttgart here from the AOK Stadium in Wolfsburg. It's the usual stadium for the youth teams and the women's team. It's actually quite interesting stadium we are seeing, and we are looking forward to this, I'm sure, exciting game here on the VfB TV between two of the best youth teams we are actually following in the youth Bundesliga. It's the champion of the North-Northeast division, Wolfsburg, and the champion of the South-Southwest division, Stuttgart. Both teams have shown during all the championship that they are completely aware of what it means to do the next step in their career and to be able to prove that they are completely able to compete in nearly every situation. The first leg between those two teams ended 0-0. It was actually not a really exciting game, if we are honest, but Stuttgart was a better team with Leon Dayaku having the biggest opportunity in the second half. He could have scored the 1-0 for Stuttgart. Some of you might have said he should have scored the 1-0. We're looking at the referees. The referee is from Bonn, the former German capital, Oliver Lucius, assisted by Matthias Lämpchen and Richard Hempel. Fourth referee is Max Burda. Let's have a quick look at the two starting 11s. Wolfsburg starts with Lino Kasten in the goal, then the back four with Leon Sommer, Michael Edwards, Tim Siersleben and Nico May. Dominik Marx in the midfield, together assisted by Len Jastremski and Sofian Mesegüm. And there are three forwards with John Yeboah. You should really pay attention to him. Philipp König and Ole Pohlmann. Two changes by the manager of Wolfsburg, by Thomas Reis. On the other side, there are no changes in the Stuttgart starting 11. With Sebastian Hornung at the goal. Then you have a back three with Alexander Kopf, Luka Mack and Antonis Aidonis. Two wingers with Manuel Reuter and Umut Günes. Nick Betzner and Per Lockel. Central midfielders and three forwards, Lilian Egloff, Erik Hottmann and Leon Dayaku. Well, Wolfsburg playing in green with the green kits and the white shorts. Stuttgart as usual in the red kits, and then we are really looking forward to this, I'm sure, pretty great game. Just to remind you, the 0-0 means that both teams need to win this game to pass to the final and to eventually play the final in 1.5 weeks, either against Schalke or against Dortmund. That's the game we are showing just after this game here on VfB TV at 7 PM Central European Time. First game between Schalke and Dortmund ended 2-2. By the way, there's no first chance in this game. By the way, if this game ends as a draw, we go immediately to a penalty shootout, independently on whether it ends with a 0-0, 1-1, 2-2 or whatsoever. First chance for Wolfsburg, and the second with Yeboah. He's such a quick guy playing the ball, and the opportunity from the back. Shoot for Pohlmann. And Wolfsburg is starting much better than in the first leg. Ball bounced back from Jastrzębski. First chance for Pohlmann after the header just a few seconds before. Through in from the right side for Leon Sommer. Pretty interesting right back. Played a good game in my opinion in the first leg, covering well. Thrown from the left side for Stuttgart. And Stuttgart is feeling from the very beginning that Wolfsburg is pressuring them much higher than we have seen before in the first leg, forcing turnovers far in the half of the Swabians. The German Football League, Professional Football League, ended last weekend. Wolfsburg eventually ended up in the 6th place and qualified for the Europa League. On the other side, Stuttgart ended 16th out of 18 teams and has to play the relegation games, but at least they are not relegated immediately. And that's also due to the actual coach of this sub-19 team of Stuttgart, due to Nico Willig, who is replaced by his former assistant coach Daniel Teufel for this end of the season at the sub-19. And everyone was of course very satisfied here in the team that they eventually managed to get to the 16th place. And of course those players we are seeing here at the Stuttgart squads are looking forward to playing one day in the Bundesliga. Although maybe it would be easier for some of them to first join the second league. But I'm really sure everyone is dreaming of playing in stadiums like the one in Stuttgart or in Dortmund, in Schalke or Munich. Daniel Teufel said he was disappointed about the result of the first leg. In his opinion, Stuttgart was the better team, and actually they were. But he also said that they were really looking forward to playing this game. Nico Mai on the left back by Wolfsburg, throwing in this ball. Tim Siersleben, the captain of the Lower Saxony team. Stuttgart now have eventually found the way to attack after they were struggling a bit during the first 2 or 3 minutes. Wolfsburg maybe surprising them a bit, pressing on different points on the field than before. Pitch conditions, by the way, are looking really good. Philipp König getting assisted by Leon Sommer. Not a bad ball by Sommer, but eventually Stuttgart gets the ball and plays to Lilian Egloff. Foul by Egloff, who is, by the way, the youngest player on the pitch today. Another very talented player from Stuttgart who actually failed to qualify for the final of this Sub-19 championship now for already 13 years in a row, which is quite unusual because Stuttgart actually is the team that qualified most times to the final and that won the championship most times. They played the final 15 times and won the championship 10 times. But as I said, the last time was in 2005. Since then, other teams like, for example, Wolfsburg were able to qualify more often. Wolfsburg winning the championship last time in 2013. First chance for Stuttgart. But it was an offside position by Erik Holtmann, one of the players of the Sub-19 German national team. That was unfortunately not able to qualify for the European Championships in Baku or in Azerbaijan this summer. Sebastian Hornung forced to intervene the first time in this game. Good movement by Len Jastrzemski, who is playing in the as a center forward for Wolfsburg today. Seems to me like he's able to give a different quality to the team than Hermann in the first leg. Although Hermann actually did not play really bad, but Jastrzemski is another type of player. Physically very, very strong, and maybe that's something that was lacking in the first leg for Wolfsburg. Their manager Thomas Reis also said that, also mentioned before the game, that Wolfsburg really needed some time in that first game to feel able to beat Stuttgart, and now he is much more positive about it, hoping that they actually found the way to play Stuttgart, something they did not so much in the game we saw last week. Nico Mai throwing the ball in. Interesting to see in the situation that that all of the 10 players of Wolfsburg were in the Stuttgart half, trying to make it kind of impossible to play the ball well, but that was a good pressure in this situation by Erik Holtmann. Lino Kasten can be very happy that this ball did not bounce back to him immediately. Actually, he was risking too much in that situation. Luka Mack opening the ball with playing the ball on the left side. Yeboah losing the ball. Holtmann in the middle waiting for a cross. And here the cross comes, but Holtmann eventually was unable to get the ball here. Nico Mai, well done in this situation. And then there was a foul. Philipp König fouled by, I think it was Reuter. Yeah. Actually, it was 2 fouls in a row by Manuel Reuter. Next foul. Well, start in this game started actually with lots of fouls in the first 12 minutes. Wolfsburg had a better start with the first 2 chances. Yeboah losing the next ball. It's already the 3rd ball he lost. But everyone knows, of course, that Yeboah is such a strong player, scoring 20 goals in 19 games this season. Also playing for the German national team. And he really is a player you could imagine to play one day in the first German league, in the Bundesliga. Sommer. König. Oh, we're still missing a clear-cut chance for both teams. Alexander Kopf. Interesting to see that both teams actually use a different tactical system, a 3-4-3 in the case of the Swabians. Well, we see the classical 4-3-3 at the Wolfsburg squad. Makes it especially important for the defenders of Stuttgart to win their challenges, to win their tackles, as they are more often in situations of 1 against 1. On the other hand, Wolfsburg until now unable to provoke the situations. And we see some fans here, the youngest fans ever. Cross from the left side is going to come. No, that's a good dribble. And the shoots. Dayaku. That's one of his great qualities, to dribble against 1 or 2 players in a row here. Trying to score the first goal of this game and to score the first goal of the semi-final between those 2 teams. As I mentioned before, they did not meet up before in the season, and that was a good chance. Antonis Aidonis, but Lino Kasten interfering this time. Stuttgart now playing better, stronger in my opinion, forcing Wolfsburg to play the ball in their own defensive line, to not move too much forward. Günes. Next cross, but there was just Philipp König. König is actually expected to be a forward in this game, but he also has to support his teammates in those situations. Foul by him. And free kick from the right side. Well, we'll see where we're going to... Well, we'll see what Lockel was going to plan. Ball was coming eventually by Betzner. And Yeboah. Yeboah does not have any clear option. Eventually plays the ball to Siersleben and then to Kasten. Maybe the next chance for Stuttgart. But well anticipated by Michael Edwards, the US-American centre back. By the way, weather conditions in Wolfsburg are quite fair, 21 degrees. Could be raining during the next hours or couple of hours, but actually it's expected to stay like that. There was nearly a misunderstanding in that situation, but eventually Sebastian Horner was still coming out of his goal. Next foul, Tim Siersleben. The bracelets of the Wolfsburg captain, as well as of the Wolfsburg captain in the Bundesliga team, supporting a diverse community. Lilian Egelhoff again, showing his qualities again. One of the most important players and best supporting players in those in these first 19 minutes. Remarkable performance so far by Egelhoff, although he was still unable to create a clear-cut chance. But Stuttgart are trying, and that's pretty clear, to force Wolfsburg to go back and back. Next ball on the right side. That could be a big chance now. But misunderstanding in that situation. Betzner's ball did not find the support he was looking for. Again, in my opinion, the first 5 or 10 minutes were clearly minutes for Wolfsburg, where they were able to create 2 chances. But since then, Stuttgart is showing all their qualities. Michael Edwards, Yeboah, John Yeboah, good ball, crossing the, or getting in the last line, again looking for Len Jastrzemski. Well, in the first leg there were around 1,400 people watching in Groß Asbach, which is a city close to Stuttgart. Also has a 3rd division club in Germany. Now I think we are about, well, 1,000 fans as well, which is quite a success for a semi-final today. Again, Stuttgart coming with a lot of speed, moving quite fair through the Wolfsburg defense. And it's mainly, in my opinion, the Wolfsburg midfielders that are lacking a bit of physical possibility to really tackle the Stuttgart players. Wolfsburg in the North-Northeast division won the championship with the 67 points. Just losing 3 games and winning 22 with 1 draw. And actually in all the second part of the season they just lost 1 game, and it was against the second team, Werder Bremen. In the middle we see Jörg Schmatke, the sporting director of the first team of Wolfsburg. For sure he is also looking for the next possible player to play in the first German league. I guess he's scouting both teams, his own one and of course as well the Stuttgart team. As I said before, it was a good season for Wolfsburg after some years when they were struggling to really keep on in the Bundesliga, but now they qualified to the Europa League. However, their manager Bruno Labbadia announced that he was leaving Wolfsburg after the season, seemingly because of a misunderstanding, or because he and Jörg Schmatke did not get well along. And the new manager will come from the Austrian club Las Klins, Daniel Glasner. Chance now for Philipp König. But the shot was blocked by Antonis Aidonis. So the corner kick for Wolfsburg. Let's see what they're able to do with it. No, it's a throw-in. Or the throw-in for Nico Mai, who's able to throw the ball very strongly. Could have been a big chance for Wolfsburg. Something we have seen recently, mainly in the Premier League, that the importance of throw-ins was getting bigger and bigger. Some teams like Liverpool even have a known throw-in coach, and that was the biggest chance so far in this game. But a big save by Sebastian Hornung. Here we see it again. Good pass by Siersleben. And then Pohlmann with this opportunity after 25 minutes in this game. Thrown from the left side, Nico Mai. Again, very well done by Nico Mai, causing problems and provoking this corner kick. Because Alexander Kopf was not sure where the next forward of Wolfsburg was standing in that situation. And corner kick from the left side. Yeboah. Yeboah crossing the ball. Next chance, and there is a penalty kick. Penalty awarded to Wolfsburg after that foul. I think it was a pretty obvious thing that was a foul by Alexander Kopf, although he also went down, and of course it hurt to him, but there was no doubt for the referee Oliver Losius. And here we have a look again. Yeah, and in my opinion that's a penalty. Pretty unlucky Alexander Kopf, because he was about to shoot the ball out, but of course that was a foul. Unintentionally, but there was no other option for the referee than to award that penalty kick. And now the pressure's on for John Yeboah. John Yeboah and Sebastian Hornung are facing each other for the first time today. Yeboah scores! 1-0. John Yeboah scoring the lead for Wolfsburg. And that could be a very important scene in this game. No chance for Hornung to avoid that goal by Yeboah. And of course the Stuttgart players were also complaining because in the first leg, if you remember it, there was a possible penalty for Stuttgart that was not awarded to the Swabians. While this one was a very clear thing, in my opinion. There were no doubts about it, although again it was really an unlucky situation for the defender, for Alexander Kopf. Well, it will be interesting to see the reaction of Stuttgart after they conceded this goal. Actually, they were the better team so far in this nearly first 30 minutes. But as they have shown us, they are able to create chances, and that could be the next one. Erik Hottmann losing the ball in that situation, and Wolfsburg trying to get on the counter attack. But Aidonis paid attention, and there's Yeboah again. John Yeboah, probably the quickest player on the field, but here was too optimistic in that situation. Clearly he was more clinical in the penalty shoot than here from the distance. Next foul against Egloff. And there was still no yellow card by the referee, shown by the referee. And here we have a look at Thomas Reis, the manager of Wolfsburg. Since 2016 he is the head of the sub-19 team of the Lower Saxony club. Before he was in charge of some youth teams from Bochum, where he played most time of his football career, or his player career. He played in the Bundesliga for Bochum and for Frankfurt. Now, as I said, since 2016 he is in charge of the sub-19 team of Wolfsburg. And he could qualify for the second time. Well, he was able to qualify for the second time for this semi-final. Last year his team ended up 5th in the North-Northeast division. The year before they won the North-Northeast division and finally were unable to qualify for the big final against the later champion Dortmund. This year there are 2 teams from the West Division. Schalke and Dortmund, as I told you before, that are playing each other at 7 p.m. Central European Time. So just directly after this game. And of course you can also watch it here on DFB TV. And then the final will eventually take place on June the 2nd at 12:45 p.m. Next chance. Still 13 minutes to go in this first half. Throw in by Umut Güneş. Güneş. Last time Wolfsburg won this sub-19 championship was in 2013, and one of the players who was playing then was Maximilian Arnold, who's now playing for the first team of Wolfsburg, but then Wolfsburg bet Hansa Rostock. More than 10,000 people were attending that final, and it was eventually decided in the overtime. And by then there was also a young player called Julian Brandt playing for Wolfsburg, who's now one of the best players, definitely best players in Germany. And Maximilian Arnold, who's now playing for the first team of Wolfsburg, is, if I'm not wrong, also attending this game here, supporting those players who are following him, following the same way he did before. Next ball on the left wing for Wolfsburg, but again nearly forcing the turnover, although eventually was a foul in that situation, but was really well done by Stuttgart's player Hartmann, pressuring intensively in that situation. And as I said, nearly forcing the turnover, and if there would have been eventually that turnover and the ball would have been for Stuttgart, there would have been a high chance to score the equalizer. Next ball for Wolfsburg, but Stuttgart defending well. But what is missing so far is the final pass to the forwards. Here again, but now the second chance for Egloff. Next dribbling by him, foul. The 1-0, the penalty kick by John Yeboah really leads to a stronger Wolfsburg performance. Stuttgart seems a bit knocked by that goal. In the 20 minutes before, they were really playing much better than Wolfsburg, but since then they have not recovered from it. Still looking forward to playing with the same confidence than before. Of course, in those categories, you're seeing a much higher psychological effect on the players. They are not used to have that TV coverage as they have it now. It's shown on the German TV network Sport 1, which is one of the most important TV channels in Germany. Mainly in terms of sports, so you could expect more than 500,000 people watching this game right now. And even more if they get to the final. And that's of course another type of pressure than they were used before. This media attention, interviews and so on. But of course that's going to augment if they eventually make it to the first team. Corner kick for Stuttgart to the first post, but eventually Wolfsburg could clear that situation. Next chance for Stuttgart. Oh, they think that there was a hand, but the referee, well, is showing at least another opinion. There's no video assistant referee today, and there was indeed Leon Sommer touching the ball with his hand, but in my opinion it's not a penalty kick. I think it was a correct decision by the referee, because it was clearly not intentionally by Sommer. The distance was just over a meter. But of course, after the penalty against Stuttgart, they are now claiming every possible situation for them, and again, in the first leg, they could have, maybe they should have been awarded a penalty kick. They were not, and that logically also affects those situations. Good ball, Hotman against 3. And well done, because at least he's able to get that corner kick. Still 5 minutes to go in this first half. An interesting first half in my opinion. Good football we're seeing. Another corner kick for Stuttgart, and Nick Betzner, who's probably one of the most technical guys at Stuttgart. Second chance. Dayaku, but I think there was no Wolfsburg player touching the ball. Well, the referee says it's another corner kick. Let's have a look again. Yeah, correctly awarded the corner kick. I think there was my touching the ball eventually. So we have this corner kick, but no problems here for Lino Kasten, who is a goalkeeper they're trusting a lot in Wolfsburg. They're really looking forward to seeing him on professional level, because he's a very good football player as well, not only a great keeper. Playing a strong season as Wolfsburg's goalie. Well, let's see whether he eventually makes it to either the first team of Wolfsburg. They also have a second team playing in the 4th German league, so that will be also a possibility. Well, they are now playing the relegation to get up to the promotion to get up to the 3rd German league, so that will be really a league on professional level. And if Carsten would get the chance to play regularly on that level, it would, I'm pretty sure, make him on one hand a stronger goalie, and on the other hand you could really prove him on that level, see whether he is capable to do that next step in his career. Carsten, that was quite risky. Now we were just talking about how great his perspectives are in the future, and then he nearly causes a goal for Stuttgart, but eventually was able to put the ball out, to bring the ball out. Next chance for Hartmann. Not controlling the ball well. And he's not claiming the penalty kick, but that was no foul by Tim Siersleben. Hartmann was looking for it. Here we have a look again. After he had seen that there was no possibility for him to score the goal. And then I think it was a mistake by himself, because when he was getting on the pitch again with his left foot, he was unable to control his own corporal mass. And then he decided to fall down and to claim that penalty kick. Oh, that was a bad foul, and that has to be the first yellow card of this game. Against Len Jastrzemski. Gets there really too late. And that's a clear yellow card. But at least it's quite a fair game, although there are lots of fouls. That was the first foul that was over the top. And that's it with the first half. Wolfsburg is winning 1-0. Yeboah scored the only goal so far by converting a penalty kick. And Stuttgart actually was the better team until he scored the goal. Afterwards, Wolfsburg was controlling the game more than before, but during the last 5 minutes we have seen again the qualities by the Swabians, and now we are taking the break and we are seeing each other in 15 minutes here on VfB TV. Welcome back on VfB TV to the second leg of the semi-final and the second half between Wolfsburg and Stuttgart, and the sub-19 game was quite an entertaining first half we have seen so far, with Johnny Boa scoring the single goal of this afternoon so far, converting a penalty kick. Wolfsburg is leading this semi-final, luckily in my opinion, because the Swabians were actually superior during most of the 135 minutes if we add the first leg between those games that ended 0-0. By the way, just a reminder, every draw between the two games is leading immediately to a penalty shootout, so it does not depend on the goal the visiting team is scoring in case of a draw. So Stuttgart has to score a goal in any case, and then if Wolfsburg would not score any further goal, we would go to a penalty shootout. And Stuttgart is creating the first chance in this second half. Again, the very quick Lilian Egelov, who seems to be a very interesting player. You should keep an eye on him. Lilian Egelov, just 16 years old, the youngest guy on the pitch so far. Definitely a player to watch. Sommer joining the players on the left-hand side. Stuttgart coming over the right wing, trying to create the chance here. Michael Edwards avoiding that Hartmann touches the ball inside the box. Nico Mai kicking the ball out. And next ball from the right hand side, through in by Manuel Reuter. There were no tactical changes in the halftime, no personal changes either. Both teams in these first 3 minutes with the exactly same formation as in the previous 45. But of course both teams are able to vary depending on the situation, something we are quite used to see in the first leagues. Tactical variability is getting more and more important and getting trained also in the youth teams, and even more in a team like a sub-19, which is very close to professional football already. The second team of Stuttgart, I already mentioned in the first half, the second team of Wolfsburg on professional level is also playing in the fourth league in the Southwest Division. There they ended 15th out of 18. They were promoted to that division before and might get back to the 5th division after just ending 15th. Struggling as the first team did also during that season. Was a tough year for every supporter of Stuttgart. Next chance for Wolfsburg, but well stopped of the Pullman. Another could be an opportunity. Dayaku, in my opinion, one of the best players in the first half of this game. There he is again. Dayaku. Joining Reuter on the right hand side. And then a good tackle by Nico Mai. Dayaku and Mai facing each other in that situation. And you can clearly see the pressure in this game. Both teams know how important this game is. How important it is to get to the final of the German Youth Bundesliga League. The highest youth competition in Germany. Stuttgart, by the way, also qualified for the cup final, that they are going to face Leipzig. Next, oh no, this week already on Friday in Potsdam. Could be or will be an interesting game, that for sure, because Stuttgart has proven their qualities today and during all the season, and on the other hand you have Leipzig, a team that just finished third in the North-Northeast division behind Wolfsburg and Werder Bremen. But however, you all know the Red Bull academies, you all know the youth strategy that is behind a team such as Leipzig. And that you will be able, maybe on a lower level, of course on a lower level than in Bundesliga, but you will be able to see exactly the same philosophy that is so clearly for the strategy of all Leipzig and related clubs. And just a small reminder, just after this game at 7 PM Central European time, we have the second leg of the other semi-final for you. Schalke playing Dortmund. The local derby. Both teams finished first in case of Schalke and second in case of Dortmund in the West Division. Will be a tough game, that for sure. The first leg ended 2-2. Stuttgart are coming. Wolfsburg are trying to bounce back on the left wing, over the left wing with Nico Mai. Michael Edwards, Leon Sommer looking for support with Lino Kastin. Strong ball getting in the opposition half. This is Erik Hottmann. Since he's 13, he's playing for Stuttgart. And he's one of the definitely best young players in the Stuttgart squad. Corner kick. Hoffmann waiting for the ball. Carsten with some troubles, but eventually getting to the ball and now speeding up the game. Playing the ball on the left wing to Ole Pohlmann. But goal kick, no ball for Wolfsburg. You can see it's raining now, it's raining quite heavily. We just hope that it does not have any influence on the pitch. But we really have to say that the pitch conditions are fabulous today. It's definitely not a problem for the players. Grass is in a very good conditions. Nico Mai. Tim Siersleben, again Mai. Open ball cross, but in this case Stuttgart getting the ball back, offside. I think it was a clear offside position by Leon Dayaku, but it seemed like if the assistant referee was having some doubts. And now we have the first change in this game. And Ole Pohlmann is leaving the pitch. Saracevic is coming new to the game. Saracevic, who was in the first squad, in the first 11 in the first game between those two rivals last week. Today he was replaced by Ole Pohlmann, who had a good chance in the first minutes, but afterwards he kind of disappeared. And now Wolfsburg has a strong bench with players such as Saracevic. Thrown from the left sides. We have seen it in the first half that Mai is able to throw the ball into the box, and here again. Next ball for Yeboah with the new guy with Saracevic. Yeboah again, the single scorer in this game so far. And the chance with the header. But the ball by Jastrzębski was definitely too high for Sebastian Hornung. Günes opening to the left side, and that was a great chance for Erik Hoffmann. But a good save by Lino Carsten. Let's see it again. Dayaku, great cross. Couldn't have been any better. The chance in the middle, clear-cut chance for Erik Hoffmann, who's normally known as being a clinical goal scorer. In that situation, however, he was not using that opportunity he was given. And Hornung on the other side also clearing the situation. That was probably the best situation for Stuttgart in this game so far after just a bit less than an hour. Let's see it again. But the header was just too central. No problem for Carsten eventually, because he was just standing in the middle of the goal. But we have seen how those games, how such a situation can change a game. And there was a foul by Dayaku, second yellow card of this game. Not for him, of course. but they get booked after this foul against Sarajevic. Next ball for Jastrzębski, fighting for that ball. I think if Wolfsburg was able to score the second goal, then it would be a very hard game, or a very hard situation for Stuttgart to bounce back and to score the equalizer independently on whether that could mean that Wolfsburg would even be able to score more goals. It's just we have seen too few opportunities and too few chances in this game so far, and now we have a change of on both teams, both sides. Egloff is leaving. Egloff, in my opinion, I'm repeating myself, but he really played well, and Pedro Almeida is joining. He's already 18 years old, from Portugal, and Charles Jesaja Hermann, another player of the German youth national team. Substituting now Philipp König. Well, and Charles Hermann seems to play as a center forward so far in the first moment, and Yeboah keeps on the right wing. But we're going to have a look whether that really remains like that. And that was a good camera angle to see how it is raining here. Free kick. Good chance for Stuttgart. Hermann. No foul. Alexander Kopf. Good ball to the right side. But Wolfsburg is defending very well so far. Just that big chance for Hartmann, but everything else they were bouncing back very well. Yeboah, and now big chance actually, but Jastrzębski failing again. Missing that opportunity as he was stopped by the Stuttgart defense. Well, and it's not only getting pretty wet, but also getting dark. That's why the lights are switched on, as it is also a TV game. well, the official attendance of this game is a bit more than 2,000 spectators. Crowd really joined this game, and we see it mainly on the left side now. Good support for the Wolfsburg team, for the Wolfsburg squad. And we just hope that Jastrzębski will be able to continue. Through in from the left side for Alexander Kopf. Per Lockel. And Antonis Aidonis. Next opening ball on the left side. But Leon Sommer eventually stopping that situation really well. Saracevic, good ball to the right side, John Yeboah. John Yeboah, Jastrzębski, Jastrzębski! Next chance, next big chance for Jastrzębski. Seems to me like Saracevic and Hermann allow more space to Jastrzębski because the Stuttgart defense is not that well prepared for that change in the tactical formation by Wolfsburg, because now it's a 4-4-2. Before it was a 4-3-3, but Hermann, as a center forward, is now adding a different style to the Wolfsburg game. Luka Mack, the captain. Aidonis. Still 22 minutes to go, and then, as I told you before, at 7 PM, Schalke playing Dortmund. The other semi-final second leg, and after the 2-2 draw in the first leg, it could be a really entertaining game. Offside in this situation. And the foul by Mack, the captain, who said that he at least does not have any exams during the next weeks, but of course he knows that many of his teammates are into troubles with all the exams accumulating at the end of the school year, and at the same time it's just the crunch time in the season, with the semi-finals now and the cup final on Friday. Decisive weeks for the players in both the school or at school and on the pitch. Dayaku. Dayaku does not find Hotman in the middle, who was already waiting in the box for another cross by Dayaku. Last quarter of this game. Throw in from the right side. Manuel Reuter. And the next ball for the Stuttgart defense. Luka Mack. Umut Günes. As we have mentioned before, Stuttgart is playing the relegation games in the first German league, playing there against Union Berlin, and they have today confirmed that Tim Walter will be joining the squad as a new manager for next season. Walter so far is the coach of Holstein Kiel, and Walter will be joining independently on whether Stuttgart will be playing in the first or second German league, but he will of course not be joining for those two relegation games against Berlin. Stuttgart now with a small chance. Dayaku, that was a good ball. But Michael Edwards defending really well today. It seems like he got kind of injured in this situation, or just needs a small relax at least. Maybe not too bad for his colleagues to get back in this moment. Well organized, the defense. Wolfsburg have done a great job so far in the defense line, just allowing Stuttgart to get to one or two chances. Thomas Reis can be really proud of all the players at the back, including of course Lino Kasten, the goalkeeper, who avoided the equalizer when the header of Hotman was coming. Good chance, Yeboah, but you've seen the reaction by Hermann, who was complaining that he was in a much better position. Here we have a look again, because Yeboah was unable to control the ball as he should have done it. But of course, he is such an important player in the system of Thomas Reis, that he's allowed to take such chances, although he's failing them in the end. Scoring, including today, 21 goals in the season. And Lino Kasten avoiding the next situation for Stuttgart. 15 minutes to go. Could be still really interesting what is going to happen in the 15 minutes that are still to be played. Not sure what we are going to see. Good cross into the box, but Tim Seersleben again very strong. Next header. And Thomas Reis. Last year he failed to qualify for the final, to make it to the final, because of the rival, because of Borussia Dortmund. Was the final many fans dreamt of. Dortmund playing Munich, Bayern Munich in the Dortmund Stadium. More than 33,000 fans attending that game. Made it really a magic day or afternoon for youth football in Germany. And showing the importance and the value those youth categories have for the clubs and for the fans. Good chance, Dayaku scoring the equalizer. 1-1, Leon Dayaku, and now we will go to penalty shootouts. Stuttgart had to wait 167 minutes to score for the first time in the semi-finals. But now they have all the chances to get into the final. Here we see it again. Great pass. Dayaku was moving in the right moment, and then Dino Kasten was without a chance to avoid the equalizer in that situation. Dayaku, who had the biggest chance in the first leg, now eventually scores. 12 minutes to go. Is there a reaction by Wolfsburg, or are both team finds to go to the penalty shootout? Again, any draw would lead to immediate penalty shootout. No further extra time. And maybe Stuttgart even have the chance to win this game within the 90 minutes. Because now it seems to me that Stuttgart is playing better than before. During the last at least 5 or 10 minutes they were the dominating team here on the pitch. Although Wolfsburg had opportunities, such as the one for Jastrzębski or the other one for Yeboah. Minutes to go. Good ball for Dayaku. And Michael Edwards this time, he was able to catch the ball, not such as in the situation of the 1-1. Jastrzębski really strong in that situation, Jastrzębski, and now Yeboah. No, that was not Yeboah, it was Sarecevic looking forward to playing the ball to Charles Herrmann. Next small chance for the Swabians. Well, you could guess that Wolfsburg are not feeling comfortable with this situation right now. Kasten trying to push his teammates. The 6th corner kick already for Stuttgart. And maybe the next chance. But Kasten is aware of that ball. Catches the ball in that situation really well. Well, and so we're still continuing with the 1-1, with Yeboah and Yaku being the only goal scorers in this game so far, but we know that they will not be the last ones, that for sure. Oh, maybe the next penalty possibility, Hermann. And Stuttgart can be very lucky that in that situation there was no penalty awarded. Maybe we haven't the opportunity to see the replay of that situation. Here. Yeboah, and could have been a penalty kick. Günes actually touches Yeboah, who is just about to fly to the ball. And the next change by Wolfsburg, Len Jastrzębski is leaving and Tom Kasper Berger is coming. I just hope Yeboah is not seriously injured. Just needs a bit of support in that situation. Medical assistance is on the pitch, and Oliver Losius, the referee, is asking Yeboah to leave. And here we have a look at this situation again. And actually it should have been a penalty kick. Stuttgart can be really lucky that it was not the second penalty awarded for Wolfsburg in this game. Yeboah joining his team again. Leon Sommer trying to force the corner kick. Well, eventually there is the goal kick from the goal from Sebastian Hornung's goal. What is Stuttgart's plan for the last minutes? Seems like the goal for Stuttgart actually motivated Wolfsburg to invest more for the last minutes. Seems like Wolfsburg really wants to avoid the penalty shootout, while Stuttgart, after a huge effort during the last minutes, has now reached their first aim to score that 1-1, and maybe is a bit tired to try to score even the 2-1. Five minutes to go. Who will be the first finalists of the 2018-2019 season? Either Wolfsburg or Stuttgart, and then they will be playing either Schalke or Dortmund. Wolfsburg or Stuttgart will be playing at home in any case, either here in Wolfsburg or in Groß Asbach, where Stuttgart is used to play the youth team games. Thrown from the left-hand side. And Reuter. But no problems for Kasten. Speeding up the game. Sommer. And 4 minutes to go. There should not be too much added time. Maybe 2 minutes, but definitely not more. Next chance for Stuttgart. Opportunity here. Kopf. Adonis. Adonis with a very strong performance today as a centre-back. Avoiding more than one big chance for Wolfsburg. And now Dominic Marx is lying on the ground. Now it's already the third time the medical team has to go on the pitch during the last 10 minutes. So it's quite obvious that it's also a physical, or that both teams are getting to their limits, to their physical limits at the end of the season and at the end of this game. Let's have a look at that situation again. That was the moment when Marx got injured, but actually there was no contact by the Stuttgart attacker. And right now I'm not sure whether he's really able to come back, because it does not look good at all. Let's just hope he did not get seriously injured. Well, at least thumbs up by the doctor of the Wolfsburg squad. Now 1.5 minutes to go. I just said before there's no real reason to add more than 2 minutes, but now at least there should be added another one. At least 3, maybe even 4 minutes. We'll have a look at it in... well, we'll know more about it in 1 minute. Betzner. Well, that was a tough situation here. And now Kleinhansel will be joining Stuttgart. Stuttgart squad. Last change of the Stuttgart team. He was out for some weeks because of an injury. And now Hartmann is going out. Florian Kleinhansel coming, 18 years old. Well, maybe it's just for the penalty shootout, but I'm surprised that Hartmann is leaving. Long ball out. And well done by Sebastian Hornung. Well, it seems like both teams are already waiting for the penalty shootout. And of course that would delay slightly the possibility for you maybe at home to switch over to the other game when Schalke is playing Dortmund. Berger. Not a real good ball by Berger. And the free kick awarded. Free kick for Stuttgart from the other's half. Could be a good last chance maybe from the set piece. Betzner. No, not Betzner, but a good ball is it eventually by Lockel. And just missing the ball. Klein Hansel, who just joined the game 2 minutes ago. Could have been his first touch in this game, and if he would have scored, it would be a very special story. Long ball out by Tim Siersleben. Kasten. Good ball to the right side. But Stuttgart is getting the ball back. Sommer. That could be an opportunity for a strong and quick player such as Sarecevic. Next chance. Could be the last chance in this game. Wolfsburg with Nico Mai. And it will be, of course, a situation that is influenced on a psychological base. And now we are waiting for that penalty shootout. Time is over, and now there will be a short break. Both coaches have the opportunity to talk to their respective players, and then it will be now a situation where the goalkeepers will be clinical. So we are going to that penalty shootout, and of course it's impossible to really make a prediction. Will be definitely the most tense moments in the semi-final. Today we've seen 2 goals. Yeboah scored the penalty. And on the other side, Dayaku was the one who was eventually scoring the equalizer for Stuttgart. Now the players have to be sure, self-confident. Tim Royce is talking to his team. Tom Reis, sorry. Of course, now you need to make a motivational speech. Trying to take the pressure away from your guys, although all they know how important it is for them, for their future career maybe, to be in the middle of the medial attention next week when the final is going to be played. Well, Stuttgart is already in the cup final this Friday, playing Leipzig. And the final eventually will be on June 2nd, either, as I told you before, in Groß Asbach, in case Stuttgart wins, or in Wolfsburg. If Wolfsburg wins, now the captain, Tim Siersleben, trying to explain the referee who is shooting the penalties and in which order. Referee is well, at least there's a good atmosphere between the assistant referee and Sofian Messegun. Special atmosphere on the pitch. For some of them it might be, or it's for sure their first penalty shootout at this level, with 500,000 German people watching it on their screens. Well, now it has to be decided on which goal they are shooting at and which team is going to start. There's a difference of about 10 percentage points for the team, in favor of the team that starts. So it's actually a 55-45 chance if you're starting a penalty shootout to win. The two captains, Luca Mack on the right side, Tim Siersleben on the left side. And now we just wish both of them good luck. And it's such an interesting situation right now. It's also interesting to see which players are going to score, which players are feeling capable of resisting such a situation. It can be so decisive for their further-going careers. Dominic Marx will be the first player. Marx, who was or who seemed to be nearly injured just 10 minutes ago, but now he knows it's his chance to score that goal. Dominic Marx! And he fails. Hornung saves that ball. Wow, what a start that was. And now it's a big chance for Stuttgart to win this. Big psychological advantage, of course, for the Swabians. And we see Lino Kastin, who wants to get inside the head of Nick Betzner. High pressure for Betzner. And he scores! Stuttgart leading now. The lead for the Swabians, and Wolfsburg has to score. They have to score now. And that's a situation for a captain such as Tim Siersleben now. He joined Wolfsburg 3 years ago. Tim Siersleben. Good performance today and good performance with this penalty. Well done. 1-1 in this penalty shootout. Well, we see how the players are standing together, supporting each other. Umut Günes. The one who was lucky that there was no penalty awarded for Yeboah. Günes, and he scores. 2-1. Stuttgart leading again. Sending Kasten in the other side of the goal. Yeboah has already scored a penalty today in the first half. And he was shooting to the right side. What is he going to do now? Again, 2-2. Equalizer by Wolfsburg and the chance for Stuttgart to lead again. The players of Stuttgart were already close to celebrate because Sebastian Hornung was not too far from that ball. Per Lockel. Third penalty for Stuttgart. And Kasten was touching that ball. Lockel scores 3-2. The Stuttgart lead. But that was so close, such a tiny thing for Lockel. And Sofia Meziguem needs to score, or otherwise Stuttgart can win this game with the next penalty. And what a save that was by Sebastian Hornung. And now there's a big chance for Stuttgart. They have 2 penalties and 1 out of the 2 just has to be converted. And Stuttgart would be playing the final, either against Schalke or against Dortmund. Antonis Aidonis is the one who can make Stuttgart the winner now. Aidonis or Kasten. Aidonis, the pressure could be higher, because afterwards there's another player and he hits the post. He hits the post. Wow, what a penalty shootout. And Wolfsburg is still in, but they have to score now. Charles Herrmann. If Hornung saves this penalty as well, Stuttgart would be in the final. Otherwise, they would still have the last penalty. Charles Herrmann. Herrmann fails! Stuttgart goes to the final. What a fail it was like Sergio Ramos some years ago in the Champions League semi-final. How unlucky Herrmann was in that moment. Stuttgart will play the final the first time since 2005. The Swabians are making it to the final. And the Wolfsburg players are so disappointed. They were so close until this minute 78. They would have been in the final, and what a miss that was. He was touching the ball first with his left foot, and that made him fail this penalty shoot. Well, that was a tough game, and now you should watch immediately the other semi-final with Mark Bevan calling the game between Dortmund and Schalke, where the opponents of Stuttgart will be decided. See you then.